Well, I think the inspiration behind the book comes from my dad and I and the relationship that we have now. Back in the past, we were unable to communicate, and we always needed sports as a venue to talk about things, the Navy, work, family, and the book itself, we were able to reconnect and talk about things without an icebreaker, such as sports, such as family, such as just sitting around in the backyard or anything else. With this book, we were able to just sit down in a family room day after day or talk on the phone just like we had always had done, because the book itself gave us the capability to reconnect. And that's what the book was about, is reconnecting on what we had done in the past. And through the book, we were able to strengthen our bond together. That's a great question, why the title Go the Distance. My dad and I have always been huge baseball fans, and Field of Dreams came out, and in the movie, Kevin Costner's character is told to go the distance, and he really didn't know the relevancy of the question when it was told to him. And it wasn't until the end of the movie that he understood all his hard work paid off. And just like my dad and I's book, and in real life, my dad and I really didn't understand how far we had to go as a father and son relationship in order for it to work out. And the book itself describes that going the distance and seeing things through, a victory will come to both parties. And that was the relevancy of the title, Go the Distance. Unconditional love, it's explained in the book many, many times, because there is love and there is unconditional love. There's actually one part in the book that describes unconditional love comes without any strings attached, and I think that that's so true in life. That I did love my dad, I loved him very much, but he and I we just could not connect, we couldn't communicate, we couldn't talk about anything else without having an icebreaker involved. And over the past 10 years, him and I, through our unconditional love of each other, we're able to talk, share, listen, connect, and communicate on a lot of things. And it didn't only have to be about sports anymore. We could talk about my child, we could talk about his wife, we could talk about work, we could talk about anything, because he and I now have an unconditional love for each other. As a matter of fact, I really think that I could call my dad 10 times a day, or he could call me now through this book and through our connection with one another through unconditional love. And I think many families out there do have unconditional love, and we just wanted to share with many, many readers that unconditional love always will see it through till the end. And that's why we mention it so many times, because it's important in our life as well as many others. Writing the first book, I met a very, very great motivational teacher 18 months ago in February of 2010. And with that, he gave me a homework assignment, basically challenging everyone to read 15 minutes a day. And with that, 15 minutes turned into 20 minutes. It turned into a half an hour. Pretty soon I was reading one book a week, sometimes 2 times a week. And in 2010, I ended up reading 71 books. And as of today, I have read 112 books in the 18 months since I met that gentleman. And through all the guidance of his books, through his authors, through his co-authors, through his stories, through the relevancy behind the themes of his books, talking about motivation, go out and do something, better yourself, I was able to connect with how he wrote his books, the stories behind his books, the relevancy behind his books. And I just started picking up things that I really enjoyed out of all the books that he had required you to read, and that basically gave me a better understanding of how to write my book. I couldn't write the book during the day because I had to work. I have a wife, I have a little kid, so I got up at 2 a.m. and wrote the book till 5:30 a.m. and then off to work I went. So I gave some extreme focus and some dedication to the project, and through a lot of flaws and corrections, I was able to come out and write the book. And that was really the payoff that I got, was by reading books. And it really paid off by reading. And he was correct. 15 minutes will change your life. And here I am today talking about my first book that my dad and I had written together. And I recommend everybody read. One of the benefits of writing the book, that's a great question, because writing a book was very difficult for me 2-3 years ago. Putting stuff on paper, erasing it, scratching it out, reassessing where the story was going. But the benefit behind us writing this is because now I have heard from families, I have heard from friends, I have heard from old high school buddies, Navy buddies, fraternity buddies that I had not spoken to in years. And not only were my dad and I able to reconnect, but I was able to reconnect with those people as well. I've talked to them on the phone, I've talked to them through email, I've communicated with them through Facebook, and that's really been the biggest benefit, is because by writing the book I have opened up a lot of doors that I decided to keep locked all these years. And I just think that the connection between me and my dad and has allowed us and enabled us now to open up the doors, and it's going to open up another door, and it's going to open up another door for loved ones and friends to see that we do care about them and they do care about us. And that's really been the huge benefit of us writing this book. So I recommend everybody write a book.